Good, I could use the money. I'll sue your ass.
Hey, Mr. G, you got a nice butt.
The film starts off with Nick Fury, Coach Carter, Black Man, Batman. Ah, damn.
English, mother, do you speak it?
Damn. The film starts off with Mr. Garfield, who's like this cool, passionate teacher, but he's in a ghetto thuggish school in the East Coast. And he's got a hit on him, or a 187.
Oh my God.
Because Mr. Garfield gave his student an F-, and now he's got to watch his back for this kid.
That book belongs to Dennis Broadway, Walter. He's a known gangster. I don't think he wants to live with the consequences, Walter. I think this kid wants me dead.
But in the end, Mr. Garfield still gets got.
Give me some chon-chon.
So now it's 15 months later, and he's a substitute teacher on the West Coast, the best coast, like and comment if you agree, and his morale is low because of what happened. And now he takes an assignment in the East Low slums. He gets to his class, but finds a gat, and turns out he's in the wrong classroom because he
Must have zagged when you should have zigged.
So he zibbited up to the correct classroom, which is basically a zoo with all these wild animals. And yeah, he already starts getting pressed and starting beef with all the Cholos students.
Would you do me a favor and please go out there and pick up those books?
Try to lick the mind. I ain't picking that shit up. You will pick it up.
I say whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe.
It's lunchtime and he meets all these other teachers who basically bring up the fact about that teacher who got stabbed in the East Coast, not knowing it was him until after the fact.
Roosevelt Whitney, isn't that where that teacher got stabbed to death last year?
Actually, he survived.
You can't kill me!
It's a couple of minutes before school and he's still beefing with the other whack-ass kids.
Are you writing on your desk? KOS. What's that?
Don't go there, I said. KOS stand for capping off suckers.
Wow, that's gotta be one of the most 90 phrases I've ever heard.
Well, you do me a favor, Mr. Littleton. Turn that Tagger shirt inside out.
Don't be disrespecting my homeboy Benny. I don't like it.
Moving on, he starts making friends with this other teacher, and they spill the cheese man drama on all the hard-ass kids, cholos, and teachers.
Benny and his tagging crew had Ms. Eskinder pinned in the corner over there. This kid is threatening me, and all Garcia cares about is a lawsuit.
And I really love the sense of isolation and dread in the film with the cinematography. It really does make you feel like a disgruntled kid that's gonna shank you when you watch this film. Just look at this. Great job to these two.
Do you know that Benny's an OT? Last year he was convicted of felony assault and suspended twice. I even testified against him as a character witness.
The main baddie of the first half of the film is Benny, and yeah, he's pretty bad since he literally blasts a random ass kid for tagging on his graffiti.
You sure you just fucked up my piece, puto? I just have to bust a cap in your ass.
Hey, come on, graffiti ain't know about that.
My leg!
And he goes AWOL after that. Later on, these two have dinner and philosophize a bit, and get a bit tipsy, spilling wine on Garfield's back, exposing his battle scars.
Apologize for reacting the way that I did.
New day, same class, and Mr. Garfield basically presses Caesar and tells him to read, but he can't.
Young's rule.
Today, Junior?
And deadass bro, why was it always the loudest and meanest kids that always started drama at any school, even mine, were the ones that could never read? Like, I'm serious. Homeboys wanted to fade up with everyone except a 3-syllable word.
Young's rule.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Afterwards, he does this experiment, drugging a mice and timing it with his grandfather's golden watch, but in doing so, someone steals the golden watch, and I wonder who that could be. After school, he's sent to the principal's office for accusing Caesar for stealing his watch, and the principal's basically like a PR type that tries to protect the bad kids and shits on the teachers.
So, Mr. Littleton, tell me you've accused them of stealing your watch. Did you physically see Cesar take your watch?
No, I didn't.
Even though the kids are guilty as hell because of a lawsuit or something like that.
You don't have the time, do you?
It's 3:22, Mr. Sanchez.
Thanks.
Later on, he offers to take care of his friend's dog while she's gone, and he helps the student because she's failing. But she tries to repay him with the nalgas and booty cheeks, but Mr. Garfield denies because He's a good guy.
Just put your clothes on, Rita. You don't have to thank me, Rita. I'm your teacher.
The next day, he puts a camera in his room, presses Caesar some more, creating some more beef.
Broke into my locker, Mr. G. It's a serious felony.
You're gonna tell him that I broke into your locker and stole the watch that you denied taking in the first place.
And then goes to Caesar's house to try to squash the beef, where Caesar is like super disrespectful to his mom and smacking her ass. And bro, what the hell? If you're gonna be mean and disrespect her, just deck her in the face. There's no need to be all nasty about it and smacking her culo. The fuck, bro? I'm just kidding, you shouldn't be hitting your mom at all. Mr. Garfield's peace offering goes, And later his class gets destroyed. I wonder who that could be. More beef ensues.
But you and I both know who's responsible, don't we?
You better watch it, man. That's my trigger finger.
It's inappropriate attire.
And in the night, he picks up that one friend from her flight, and they go back to his house to find that her dog is dead. I wonder who that could be. Nah, but really, that's some messed up shit, man. I mean, what type of person does this? It has to be a nasty ass fool who probably still smacks his mother's butthole. That same night, Mr. Garfield becomes a vigilante because he drugs and then cuts off Caesar's finger, but no one believes him when Caesar wakes up and snitches. And later on that same day, they find a dead body in the river. I wonder who that can be. It's Benny, yeah, that boy dead. Bruh. And as time ensues, the other teacher starts putting the pieces together, and she basically gets disgusted by Mr. Garfield's actions.
You know, Benny was no saint, Ellen.
I don't know you!
But I mean, like, really, she was telling them all this vitriolic and super immoral shit that the Cholos were doing and how the teachers couldn't do anything.
Did you know Cesar beats his mother?
I mean, if anything, I don't know, man. I don't want to put it out there, but I would be like, oh, at least it wasn't an innocent person getting hurt. But whatever, it's more like that irrational, emotional argument.
I don't know you!
And you already know the drill. More drama ensues.
Fuck that, I want an answer.
Leave me alone!
Harder, Daddy. What? What?
Later on, like at an assembly, more drama ensues, and Mr. Garfield basically gives this other teacher a ride home, and they're chilling, but it turns out that he's basically a disgusting a-hole, confessing all this nasty, vile behavior.
You ever want to fuck a high school chick? Yes, because I caught your girl Rita. I know you had her. Even I had her.
Get drunk.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
After that one student drops out of school. A couple of moments later, Mr. Garfield gets fired because of the accusations, drama, and all that.
However, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to let you go.
So now he's fired, his house is all tagged, and his soul is overall crushed.
Bruh.
However, a few moments later, these main Cholos rush Garfield's house and force him to play Russian roulette. But he really doesn't give a shit anymore.
Am macho enough for you, Cesar? And make me a man?
Take more than that to be me.
And convinces Caesar to play the game. It's a pretty good tense back and forth in this scene.
You can't kill me!
Hold up, that sounds familiar.
You can't kill me! Fuck!
This goes on for a bit, and damn!
No!
Mr. Garfield takes Caesar's turn, and in the end, Caesar basically plays it again. And man, this scene is just executed pretty damn well. Almost like a dramatic stage play, if I'm being honest.
Why'd you do that, man? What's the fucking point?
At the film's conclusion, Mr. Garfield's death does make an impact, and that student that was going to drop out makes a complete 180, and she gives the graduation speech. So life goes on, and the movie closes with that one generic statistic quote / message from most of the gang film in the 90s. Ultimately, 187 is a pretty damn solid film, but I feel like it got overlooked with all the other gang / hood films out of the 90s and 2000s. So is it the best? Not really. But if you're in the mood for a hood film and you haven't seen 187, then yeah, it's definitely a watch. I really love the cinematography, and it has a more dark, somber, and hopeless tone compared to the other Make It Out of the Hood films. The East Los tone is there, the cast and portrayals are pretty decent, with Coach Carter being the obvious standout like in all his other films. The main gripes are just that extremely blue-ass filter at the beginning, and also this like really whack and annoying soundtrack that happens through the first half of the film. It's outdated and annoying and doesn't really go with the tone, but that kind of dies down in the second half, which makes the movie a lot better. So 1 out of 10, what would I give this film? Would I give it a 1? Maybe an 8? Or even a 7? It's like a 7 or 8. So with that done, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and sorry if I sounded different, I'm sick as shit.